Welcome back to Two Tricks, One Treat, where every artifact has a story, but not every tale is as it seems. Today, we journey into the world of haunted treasures, from the grand ballrooms of Paris to the quaint streets of Eastwood, and even to a mysterious box that holds a dark secret. In this episode, we'll share 3 chilling tales of cursed objects. But remember, only one of these tales is rooted in truth. Can you decipher which one? Stay with us until the end to uncover the truth. If you're new here or a returning mystery seeker, make sure to hit that subscribe button and follow our other social media links in the description below. Now let's begin. Story 1, The Dybbuk Box. In the quaint town in Oregon, an estate sale was in full swing. The belongings of an elderly woman recently passed were spread out, each item telling a story of its own. But among the porcelain figurines, dusty books, and vintage jewelry, a peculiar wine cabinet stood out. Its dark wood was intricately carved with symbols that seemed to dance and shift when looked at directly. This was the Dybbuk Box, though its ominous title was yet unknown to the attendees. Kevin, a professor of folklore and an avid collector of antiques, was immediately drawn to it. The price was surprisingly low, and he thought it a steal. The seller, the elderly woman's granddaughter, seemed eager to part with it. She mentioned it was always kept in a separate locked room, and her grandmother had strictly instructed never to open it. Thinking it was just an old family superstition, Kevin purchased the box and took it home, unaware of the darkness he was inviting into his life. The first night, Kevin placed the box on a table in his study. That night, he was jolted awake by the sound of breaking glass. Rushing to his study, he found all his windows shattered from the inside, but the box sat undisturbed. Dismissing it as a bizarre accident, he cleaned up and went back to bed. However, the nightmares began that very night. Kevin dreamt of an old haggard woman with hollow eyes, her voice a raspy whisper, chanting in a language he couldn't understand. Each night, the dreams grew more vivid, the woman's presence more oppressive. He would wake up drenched in sweat, her haunting lullaby still echoing in his ears. His health began to decline rapidly. Dark circles formed under his eyes, and he grew pale and gaunt. He became irritable, snapping at colleagues and friends. His once orderly home now felt cold and unwelcoming, shadows lurking in every corner. Desperate for answers, Kevin began researching the box. He discovered its dark history, tales of a malicious spirit, a Dybbuk trapped within. The box was said to be its prison, and opening it would release the spirit upon the owner. Realizing the gravity of his situation, Kevin sought the help of a rabbi, a local spiritual leader known for his knowledge of ancient rituals. The rabbi, after hearing Kevin's tale, agreed to help. Together, in a tense and chilling ceremony, they attempted to seal the Dybbuk back into the box. The room grew cold, lights flickered, and a guttural scream filled the air as the rabbi chanted ancient verses. Hours felt like days, but finally the oppressive atmosphere lifted. The Dybbuk, though not destroyed, was once again imprisoned. Kevin, forever scarred by the ordeal, donated the box to a museum with strict instructions never to open it and to keep its history a secret. But as with all things mysterious, the legend of the Dybbuk box spread. Today it sits behind thick glass, a warning inscribed below. Some doors, once opened, can never be closed. Visitors report feeling a chill when near it, and some claim to hear faint whispers, a chilling reminder of the horrors that lie within. Story 2, The Cursed Painting of Madame Lenoir. Paris, 1923. The city was alive with jazz, art, and the whispers of the roaring 20s. But in the heart of the city, in a grand mansion overlooking the Seine, a dark secret lurked. Madame Isabelle Lenoir, a wealthy socialite known for her extravagant parties, had recently acquired a new painting. It was a portrait of a woman, her face pale and her eyes filled with tears. The woman's beauty was undeniable, but there was something unsettling about her gaze. Those who looked into her eyes felt a cold shiver run down their spine, an overwhelming sense of dread that lingered long after they looked away. The painting was said to be cursed. Legend had it that the woman in the painting was a lover of a powerful warlock. When she tried to leave him, he trapped her soul in the canvas, condemning her to an eternity of sorrow. Her tears were said to be real, and on some nights, guests claimed they could hear soft sobs coming from the painting. As weeks turned into months, guests at Madame Lenoir's parties began to notice strange occurrences. Mirrors would crack without reason, lights would flicker, and an eerie coldness would fill the room where the painting was displayed. But the most disturbing events were the disappearances. One by one, guests who had been particularly entranced by the painting began to vanish. First, it was a young poet, known for his melancholic verses. Then a renowned opera singer who had stared into the painting's eyes, humming a haunting lullaby. Each disappearance was more baffling than the last, with no signs of struggle or any clues left behind. Whispers began to spread throughout Paris. Some said the painting was consuming the souls of those who gazed upon it. Others believed the woman in the painting was collecting souls to free herself from her cursed prison. Madame Lenoir, initially dismissive of the rumors, soon became paranoid. She claimed to hear the woman's voice calling out to her in the dead of night, whispering promises of eternal beauty and power in exchange for her soul. In a desperate attempt to rid herself of the curse, Madame Lenoir decided to burn the painting. On a stormy night, with lightning illuminating the Parisian skyline, Madame Lenoir and a few trusted friends gathered in her grand ballroom. As the flames consumed the painting, a deafening scream echoed throughout the mansion. The fire raged uncontrollably, consuming everything in its path. The next morning, the mansion lay in ruins. Among the ashes, no trace of the painting or Madame Lenoir was found. Some say she was claimed by the painting, forever trapped in its cursed realm. Others believe she escaped, living out her days in hiding, forever haunted by the eyes of the weeping woman. To this day, the legend of the cursed painting of Madame Lenoir remains one of Paris's most chilling mysteries. And somewhere, in a forgotten attic or hidden away in a dusty antique shop, the painting waits, its haunting gaze searching for its next victim. Story 3, The Haunted Doll of Eastwood. In the heart of the quaint town of Eastwood, nestled among cobblestone streets and ivy-covered cottages, there was a legend that sent shivers down the spines of even the bravest souls. The legend of the haunted doll of Eastwood. The story begins in the late 1800s with a young girl named Clara. Clara was an inquisitive child, always exploring the woods and meadows surrounding Eastwood. One day, while playing near an old abandoned well, she stumbled upon a peculiar-looking doll. It had raven black hair, piercing blue eyes, and a dress that seemed to shimmer in the dim light. Intrigued, Clara took the doll home, naming it Lilith. From the moment Lilith entered the household, strange occurrences began. Doors would slam shut on their own, whispers echoed through the hallways, and cold drafts swept through rooms even on the warmest of days. But the most unsettling event was the change in Clara. Once a cheerful and lively child, she became withdrawn, often found whispering to Lilith in hushed tones. Rumors spread that the doll was once owned by a witch named Agatha, who was shunned by the townsfolk of Eastwood for her dark practices. When she met a tragic end, her spirit was said to have transferred into the doll, seeking revenge on the town that had wronged her. As the days turned into weeks, the disturbances grew more frequent and violent. Objects would fly off shelves, and Clara's parents would wake up to find Lilith sitting at the foot of their bed, staring at them with those cold blue eyes. Desperate to rid themselves of the cursed object, they attempted to burn the doll, but the flames wouldn't touch it. They tried burying it deep in the woods, but the next morning, Lilith would always be back, sitting on Clara's bed. The final straw came one fateful night when Clara disappeared. A frantic search ensued, but she was nowhere to be found. The only clue was Lilith, sitting by the old well, her blue eyes seeming to glow with malevolence. The townsfolk, realizing the gravity of the curse, decided to lock Lilith in a glass case and placed it in the town's church, hoping the sacred grounds would contain its evil. To this day, visitors to Eastwood's old church can see the doll, its eyes forever watching, waiting. And every now and then, on particularly dark nights, some claim to hear the soft, eerie whispers of a little girl calling out for her lost doll. So if you ever find yourself in Eastwood, be wary of any old dolls you might come across. For in this town, legends have a way of becoming all too real. And now the moment of truth. Among the tales of cursed paintings, vengeful dolls, and a mysterious wine cabinet, the story that stands as a testament to the unknown is the Dybbuk box. In Ashland, Oregon, a professor unknowingly invites darkness into his life by purchasing a wine cabinet at an estate sale. Plagued by nightmares and a rapid decline in health, he discovers the cabinet's sinister history. With the help of a local rabbi, they attempt to seal the malicious spirit, a dybbuk, back into its prison. Today, the box sits in the Museum of Shadows in Nebraska, a chilling reminder of the mysteries that exist just beyond our understanding. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the unknown. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit that like button and share it with fellow mystery seekers. And remember, in every trio of tales at 2 tricks, 1 treat, 2 will deceive, but 1 always speaks the truth. Until next time, keep questioning, keep wondering, and always stay curious.